Billionaire dies of heart attack in car, leaving behind a 30-year-old secret. When it came time to divide the billionaire's estate, his least favorite son inherited $300 million, while his wife received the real estate and stocks. A portion was also donated to charity. However, his most beloved daughter, Annie, was left with nothing but a dilapidated cellar. Despite feeling the unfairness, Annie accepted her father's final wishes. The billionaire's lawyer handed her an envelope containing a USB drive and a key. When Annie plugged the USB into her computer, a pre-recorded video from her father appeared. In the video, he revealed the location of the cellar and asked Annie to keep his secret. Driven by curiosity about the 30-year-old secret hidden in the cellar, Annie ventured to the back of the mountain alone and found the cellar her father had mentioned. She wore a mask, but the imprisoned man recognized her instantly and knew that her father had passed away. Annie asked the old man why he was confined there, but instead of answering, he requested food. Left with no choice, Annie brought him something to eat. After the old man had his fill, he revealed the secret he had been harboring. The man's name was John, and he was once Annie's father's best friend. 30 years ago, they went to a bar together for drinks. On their way back, they accidentally hit a pedestrian. They immediately got out of the car to check on the person. John wanted to call the police, but Annie's father stopped him. They drove to the outskirts of town and buried the pedestrian. Fearing the secret would be exposed, Annie's father knocked John unconscious and imprisoned him in the cellar for 30 years. John had been living a fate worse than death all these years. However, Annie couldn't just take John's word for it. She asked John to take her to the corpse, but he had long forgotten the location. Annie had no choice but to remove the shackles from his neck and follow him to the outskirts of town. Sure enough, they dug up a skeleton. Could her father really be a murderer? Back in the cellar, John begged Annie to let him go, but she hesitated. She was afraid that her father's murderous secret would be exposed. However, John promised to keep the secret, and ultimately, the kind-hearted Annie agreed. She gave John a change of clothes and took him to the airport to send him out of the country. Annie's mother discovered the documents on the table. When Annie returned home, her mother questioned why she was investigating John. She said that John was an irredeemable criminal. Annie panicked and rushed to the airport, only to find that the plane had not taken off. Worried about her mother's safety, she hurried back home. Her mother was nowhere to be found, but she noticed a light on in the cellar nearby. As she approached, she discovered her mother lying on the ground, unconscious. Suddenly, John appeared behind her. He pulled the power switch, and when Annie woke up, she was already bound by chains. John finally revealed the truth. He had always coveted Annie's mother's beauty. On a night 30 years ago, he secretly violated her mother. When Annie's father found out, he sent John to the police station. However, on the way, they hit a pedestrian. The pedestrian was still breathing, but John snapped his neck and buried the body in the outskirts of town. He threatened Annie's father not to call the police. Enraged, Annie's father knocked John unconscious and locked him in the cellar for 30 years. Annie's father left her no inheritance because Annie was actually John's daughter. Upon learning the truth, Annie broke down and fought with John, but she was no match for him. Suddenly, her mother regained consciousness and shot John. The two then set fire to the cellar, letting everything go up in smoke.